Hey everyone, welcome to your week 1 introduction. So hopefully everybody's watched the course introduction that was in the welcome page here, and you've taken the course basics quiz. Obviously that's just for me to make sure that you're aware of a few key points that I really wanted to make in that video. And little introduction here to the processes that influence the earth, because that's our first unit of study. Just want to make sure that you know what we'll be covering in this class. I don't know about you, but I do a lot better as a learner if I kind of see the big picture, if I know what's coming, and I can relate everything I'm learning to that big picture. So keeping that in mind, every week we'll have a weekly introduction, and that will be followed by objectives. So as you see this week, they're kind of far down in the pages here. And obviously, you know by now you have to click that next arrow to get to the next page. Can't just click on it. Unless you've been through the whole folder, then you can. So the weekly introduction will include a video like this every week, and then objectives. So going back to that idea that I think you can be a better learner if you have the big picture in mind, if you know what you're supposed to be getting out of the content. So I know that it's really easy to look at that and think, well, why do I need to read objectives? Just skip it. That's just teacher talk. Try to embrace that. It's more than teacher talk. It's me telling you, this is what I expect you to learn. So I think it makes it easier then as you go through the content to kind of frame it in that reference of, these are the objectives that I need to learn. This is what I should be getting out of this. Now, for some of you, especially this week, we're going through some pretty basic ideas in science, inferences, and rocks, rock types, rock cycle. A lot of this should be review. You might be able to cruise through a ton of this content. And that's a great thing about schooling online. If you already know a lot of this should be a super easy week for you, and you should be able to move through quickly. If not, if this is new or you're thinking, I just don't remember any of this, spend a little more time. Read what you need to, go a little bit more in depth. If you still feel like you need help, remember you've got to ask me. You've got to let me know if you're feeling like you need any help with the content, or just maybe something's not working for you, a link or whatever. Now, you do have an assignment where you will be doing an interactive, which requires that you click on a link. And we're going to look at that together real quick here. You're going to click here to open the interactive. This image shows you where you're going to start. Okay, right here it says begin with types of rocks. Now, one quick tip. If you ever have an issue with opening some sort of interactive, or a link isn't working, maybe a site isn't running correctly for you, a couple things to do right away. One is clear your cache on your computer. If you're not sure how to do that, let me know. I'll help you with that. You can also Google that. Anytime I don't know how to do something, I just Google it. So get in that habit too. I'm not saying don't ask me, I'm just wanting to make sure that you are also pretty self-sufficient and you're not having to wait for answers from me. And then the other thing that you should do is switch browsers. I always have a couple of browsers open so that if I need to, like if something isn't working well for me in Chrome, I can switch over to Safari, Firefox. Internet Explorer generally is the last one that I choose because it doesn't always run really well with Schoology. I hear that Safari tends to be the browser of choice with Schoology these days, that there's less glitches, but use what you're comfortable with. Anyway, the point is, get used to switching around browsers if you need to. Okay, so after you do this interactive, you're going to go through several sections, and they're short quizzes. So there's several short little quizzes that you're going to go through. There is a final quiz at the end. That's what I want to see to give you a grade. So on the next page, you'll want to look at this before you actually do the interactive. Okay, you can open it. This is another thing. I often have more than one tab open. Like, just move up here so you can see. I just right click. I say duplicate that tab. So now, if I want to, I can have directions open on one page, and I can have the page with the link open in another. Okay, so I've got two tabs open there. All right, so on this page, I have another video just showing you different ways that you can do a screen capture. And remember, what I really want here is a screen capture of your quiz results. I want to see your results. So like for instance, this page that this landed on, that just happens to be where this video is showing up, This says see your results. This is not showing your results. This would not be appropriate for you to receive a score for the quiz. I would need to see the page that actually shows your score. And I show you that here in the video. So make sure you take a look at that and make sure you're giving me the right one. I've also had students submit a screenshot of just one of the preliminary quizzes, which I think there's 3 of them. I can't remember right. And I just went through this yesterday. You'd think I'd know. But there's 2 or 3 preliminary short little quizzes to get to that last one. I don't want to see screenshots of those. I want to see your final score. So if you submit the wrong screenshot, you're not going to get credit for the assignment, and we're both going to be bummed. I don't like having to tell you you need to redo something just to give me evidence that you've done it, and I know you'll be sad if you have to go back through. So make sure that you're absolutely clear on which one you need, and I show you that in this video. Okay, now another thing about being an online student. Keep that end goal in mind here. I told you that I want to see that score. Now, if for whatever reason you are not able to do a screenshot, you can't submit it to me that way, you followed the instructions here and you just can't submit it as a JPEG or a document that's a screenshot from your computer, I don't care if you use a cell phone and take a clear enough image of your screen that shows me your name and your score so I can actually read them and submit that as a JPEG. Be creative. Dig deep. Think a little bit about what you need to do and think about different ways that you can do that. Because that's really what I want to see is your name and your quiz score there. Okay? So, remember that is on the page after the interactive. Sometimes on those pages I'm not sure. Should I show you how to get there first or should I show you what you should be doing? So, sorry if that doesn't make sense to you to have that instruction after the actual interactive. So, you will do a discussion this week, and you should have gone through how to do a discussion in your IOL course. But if you need a brief reminder, you do have a text box that you type in. You have a few options here. Sometimes I'll have you post a file there. Sometimes I might have you put a link on that post. And generally we'll use those if you are creating something and I want you to share it with the rest of the class. Maybe I'm having you do an assignment that I want you to do some peer reviewing on your assignments. So you will submit them here where you can see everybody's work. And so with this one, you're not doing that. You are just creating a post here, typing in the text box. So once you've done that, you can just click post. Now if you are replying to another student and part of your credit is that you have to reply to other students, you just click reply on an existing post. A different text box will come up and that's your reply. And then you can post reply as well. If you have any trouble with that, let me know. So keep things kind of simple and easy here in the first couple of weeks, just because I know some of you are adjusting to online ed. You haven't been in an online class before. So those of you who have been in online classes, you guys probably will have some easy couple of weeks here as we allow your classmates to adjust to being online. One more thing I want to point out besides those, actually there's 3 assignments in there because I do have this course basics quiz, this discussion, the rock cycle assessment. I want to point out this lesson summary. Now again, I know often objectives, you look at those and think that's really for teachers. It's not. It's for you to wrap your head around what you will be doing for the week. Super important that you think about that because the learning is definitely easier if you look at the big picture and think about what my expectations are about what you should be able to know and do at the end of the week. Now, beyond those objectives, notice there was vocabulary there as well, if you need it. And by the way, you don't have to turn in that vocabulary. That's just there for you. If you want to maybe keep that vocabulary, you could print it out. In fact, I should have shown you there is a document attached there. So here is that vocabulary. You can print off this vocabulary. If there's anything here that you don't know, you can define. You can use this to take notes on. You might want to keep a notebook. Some of you may prefer to just keep this in a folder, so save it to a folder on your computer and then make notes on this in that folder. So whatever you choose. to do with that vocabulary, but I will not be collecting those. Those are just for you to use. And you can use those when it comes time to take a test too, which is nice to have that. Now the other thing that I think I would keep is the lesson summary. This is something that you might copy and paste this into, again, I don't know if you like to keep your notes online. If you do, I think it would be great to keep a, in an Earth Science folder, keep summary pages together and just know this is what I was supposed to get out of that unit. So this is some of the basic. Of course, this doesn't include all of the detail, but this is the big picture of what you should have gotten out of the unit. So always take a look at that summary and ask yourself, do I really understand this? So it ends with, the rock cycle describes the transformations of one type of rock to another. Obviously, I would want you to know how those transformations occur. Okay, so ask yourself those kinds of questions as you go through those summaries. So these 3 assignments are due Sunday at midnight. I would prefer you turn them in earlier in the week, just so that if you have questions, you can ask me as you go through. If you have any issues, of course, I want to hear from you, and don't forget that we do have work sessions for you to attend, and the work session link is right here. That will take you to the Collaborate Classroom. Monday at 10, Wednesday at 5, and actually this Monday there will not be one at 10. We have an all-school assembly, and I will not be having that work session this week. Those will start next week. So Wednesday at 5 and Thursday at 2:30 this week. That doesn't mean that's the only time I'm available to help you. You need to call, text, Schoology message, email if you need anything, and I'll get back to you right away. And if I need to, we'll open up the Collaborate Classroom and work together there. This is just so that you know there is a set time that I'll be there. I'll have that classroom open. You can pop in, or you can call me during that time too. And we can work together. So I hope you have a great first week, and I want to hear from you if you need anything.